Every day you wake up and you have to get ready for work, perhaps get a few people ready too if you've got kids or a family, but you blink and it's the end of the day and it's time to go to bed, and you put that on repeat the next day. Now it's been 1 week, 2 months, the first quarter of the year, and you've done everything except that one thing that you committed to building at the start of the year. Come closer, we need to break that routine right now. You see, the way that your wardrobe can be so packed with clothes, everything scattered around, that it's now hard to find that one blue blouse or that white shirt, but you know that it's in there, or now it's hard to put your outfit together. That's how some of our lives are. Some of us actually do a lot, but we're so packed. Your mind is so cluttered up that it'll almost be impossible to get things done. And even when you get them done, the satisfaction and the fulfillment that would normally come from being productive, you may not really enjoy, because you've done it just because you had to tick the box, versus having that clarity that decluttering will do. So the first thing you need to do if you want to really achieve the things that matter to you, I'm not talking about if you want to do many things. Everybody wants to do many things, especially these days, but that one thing that you committed your heart to doing at the start of the year, at the end of the first quarter of the year, if you want to get it done, you need to start by decluttering your life. I'm going to use a very quick illustration, and it was something that I did with my phone. So apps like WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, even though I make contents for them, even YouTube, I don't get notifications from them except from the channels or from the people whose content I really want to see. And it's because I'm intentionally consuming their stuff. I want to be a part of what they share, and so I want to be notified when they post up things. But other than that, if you send me a text message, if you send me a WhatsApp message, I may not see it until the time that I have set aside for doing that task has come. I know that sounds a bit cheeky, but what it does is it puts me in control of my time. It holds me accountable to what I'm doing with my time. And I've now brought that into my everyday life. At first, it was just a metric that I learned from a book called Make Time, and it was to beat social media addiction. Well, I wouldn't say an addiction because I wasn't addicted, but I was spending more time than I really wanted to spend on my phone. I just thought for a second, maybe I can do that with my life as well. A great tip that really helps me is to ask myself, what am I doing when I'm not doing the things that I must do, like going to work? And that reveals to us, if we practice it, what is really eating into our 24 hours, because we have a lot of time. The creator of the world, God, has blessed us with so much time during the day to do this and to do that, or to relax when your body needs it. And so when you ask yourself questions like that, we find that there can be so much that is just eating into your morning before work or your evening after work that you just didn't realize, like chatting away with friends. So my idea of decluttering your life as you hold your wardrobe is to take away all the things that are not serving you anymore, or all the things that are taking your time without your permission. And sometimes, because of the many things that we have spent so much time doing, you may require walking back to deciding again what's important to you, because sometimes between that little space from the start of the year and now, it may have changed. It may have changed because as you've lived, you've realized, oh, that wasn't really me, the goal that I set. I'm finding me now. But until you've decluttered, you may be unable to decide what's important to you. But after decluttering, it's easier now because your mind is free. And I think it was on Forbes magazine one time that I was reading as well, the importance of decluttering even just your room. We're not talking about your life now. Putting your room in order, arranging the clothes, making sure that the bed is done, making sure that the space is warm and just homely, and how much improvement that can bring onto your focus. Now think about what that could do to your life. It's magical, I promise you. And I have found that the clarity of mind that decluttering your life brings you helps you determine what's important to you. And that takes me to the next point. Decide now that your mind is free, now that your head is clear. What is really important to me? I had to ask myself that question because as human beings, so many things can be appealing to us at the same time. But the truth is, not everything that is important to you is important right now. You may want to be able to keep up with family members. That's a good thing. You may want to be able to build build your career, that's a good thing. You may want to be able to serve in church, that's a good thing. But how much of these things can I do at the same time? Because not every good thing is good for me right now. And I'm sure that chances are that applies the same way to you and to the whole world, because we're just people. I'm just the girl, you're just the guy. We can't manage to be 20 people at the same time, you see. So questions like, who am I? What do I enjoy? What do I really want to do? Can even help you set boundaries, because answering those will probably tell you what not to do. Once I realized that I couldn't do all the different things that I was interested in at the same time, I considered a might-do list. So the way that I might-do list, by the way, this is from the book called Make Time by John Zakari and John Knapp, I believe. Might-do list. Think about your gas cooker. Whatever you're cooking right now is in front. The food behind is just as important, but it's not what we're paying attention to right now. And that is exactly how it works. I have a list of 1,000 things that I want to do with my life. I probably would never be able to do all of them, but I'm able to prioritize at the front burner. What do I need to do right now? Out of all these important things, what's most urgent? What's most important? And as I'm working my way through, when I find some more time, I can bring in a new task. And I'll be honest, I think it's one of the biggest reasons that people start things and don't finish them. We take on too much at the same time. I used to take on, I'll do this and want to do that. And by the way, all while having a regular 9-to-6 job, I don't want to name things because I don't judge them, things that I shouldn't have done. I'm still happy that I did them, except that that was probably not the time to do every single thing at the same time. And I was trying to talk earlier about how that deciding what is important to you usually would help us decide what we must say no to. If you're still watching and you haven't subscribed, can I ask why? It's free, you know. It's free. Hit the like button as well. Otherwise, you don't do that. You don't leave a comment. YouTube thinks that nobody likes my video. Instagram, wherever you're watching from. That's the only way that they know that maybe 1 or 2 people like the video and will recommend it to more people. But if you don't, they think that everyone hates it and won't show it to anyone. That's not nice, you know. It's not nice. Sorry to interrupt your video. Bye. The third thing I want to share with you is scheduling. Willpower is almost never enough because motivation is fragile. Even now, I'm somebody who talks about all the time how to beat procrastination, how to get things done. Even at that, I realize that motivation is so fragile. Somebody can do something that will ruin your day and by extension affect your motivation to do things. So motivation is really, really fragile. And that's why I believe in structure. I believe in designing something that compels you to do stuff, and that's where scheduling comes in. Once I've decided, for example, that it's really important to me that I'm doing A, B, C, X, Y, Z are also just as important, but at all costs, by all means, I have to be doing A, B, C, even if I'm not doing X, Y, Z just yet. I then have to schedule A, B, C into my everyday. If not into my everyday, into my every weekend or into my every break from work, because scheduling is about structure, and structure, I think, is what helps us to do things even when we don't feel like it. And I actually agree that some people are able to get away with doing things spontaneously. Some people don't need to schedule things to actually be productive. And if that's the case, that's fine. But scheduling, again, will help you do the next thing, which is say no to the things that clash with your schedule. I'm somebody who for a long time struggled with people pleasing, because when somebody's important to me, I think that it would be nice to be able to help them with things that I know about, or be able to show up for them even if I'm not helping with much. But sometimes I'll do that at the expense of what's very, very, very important to me. Think about betraying yourself without realizing it until it's the end of the day and you're thinking about it, and I'm just now realizing the consequences. But when you schedule things, you can boldly say in a polite way, I'm so sorry, that's the exact time that I need to be doing this and that, and I find that when I don't do it at the scheduled time, I struggle to come back to it later. Can we do it another time? You'll be able to do it, and it'll come from a sincere place, and it'll come because you truly cannot make the time that they've chosen. So it's a win-win for everyone. There's sincerity in the no that you've said, and there is you not betraying yourself and not betraying your dreams, and there is everything else that needs to be there. On saying no to the things that people want you to do that you really don't want to do, or that you really cannot manage to do, maybe because because of where you are mentally. If you generally struggle with saying no to people, especially people that you have honor for or that you have a lot of respect for or people that you hold very dearly, if you generally struggle to say no and you fall into people pleasing to a degree, I don't want to be the antagonist, but you can start by saying no to everything. What that's going to do is like decluttering your mind, which I talked about earlier. When you say no to everything for starters, then you can pick one by one the things that you want to say yes to, because it frees up your mind, it frees up your calendar, it frees up your space, it puts you in control of what you're doing with your time, and it allows you, as I've said before, to schedule things. So if you say no mentally for starters, then you have a blank calendar to work with, a blank page that you can design the way that you want. And even if that's not something you can do because life just won't allow you, or the routine that you currently run just won't allow you, if you're not feeling hell yeah, then it's probably a no. It's another place where you're about to betray yourself by saying yes and by leaving unattended what is super important to you. If you're not feeling hell yeah, start by saying no, or you're allowed to get back to them later when you've looked at your calendar. And that's not something that people really welcome where I'm from. Some people may raise a brow, oh, that's not the appropriate way to behave. But let's be honest, who should have the call or the right of call as to your arrangement, as to your life, as to your time? You are the only human being that should hold that right. That's a very simple reason that you should be able to say, please let me get back to you on that tomorrow. I can't say it now. Or can you give me till the end of the week to let you know? On saying no to things that clash with your schedule or that interrupt with your preferences throughout life, there is a book that I would like to recommend, is Hell Yeah or No by Derek Sivers. I'll put it on the screen. And just like that, you would have realized that you've made time for yourself, you've made time for your dreams, you've made time for your life, you've prioritized you, and you're happy with what you're doing. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, share with me how you manage to make time for yourself. I'm in the comment section, usually trying to see if I'm the only one who's dealing with stuff like this and trying to overcome them, or if it's a universal problem. Yeah, talk to me. I'll see you in the next video.